Welcome to Agent Tactics. Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin Realtor. Nicole Jones is on here, so second favorite. We're up there. Hey, look, so today I want to go through and work on our goals for 25. I think as agents, we set goals and then we forget our goals. And so the whole plan today is to get our goals out in the open. Allie and I are going to go through and talk about some of our goals. The whole point of this, I think, more than just setting our goals, is holding each other accountable. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up I was going to do 3 months, so a quarter call. I think what we're going to do is about every 45-day call where we just all jump on. Where are we with our goals? Keep ourselves accountable. The biggest thing that I saw when Sharon did his event last week for the 2025 business plan, it was something that one of the guests said that resonated the most with me, where I was like, shit, this is where I fail every time. And tell me in the chat if this is where you fail. Is I don't ever have a buddy to keep me accountable. So I set my goals and then my goals go to the side. I don't put them up where I've seen them. And then halfway through the year, I'm rudderless and I don't know where I'm going. And then I get upset because I don't get my goals met. And then it just starts a snowball effect. And then by that time, it's December 20th. And then I'm sitting on a call with all of you. So the whole point of this is to keep everybody accountable. Allie, it is good to have you on here. I love Allie because some of the things that I'm terrible at are putting together events and getting my clients together and really working my database. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to have Allie on here because I think Allie is one of the best at working her database. I got on a call with her 3 weeks ago and we were talking about what we would want to do on an agent tactics together. And she's like, well, I do this agent event or this client event, this event, this event, this event. I do these cards, I do this. And I was like, holy crap. So all of your business comes from your sphere, and it's because you're working your sphere. So Allie, I want to hear from you real quick. What are some of the things that you're going to do with your sphere this year, and what are your goals?
I thank you for those compliments because I definitely think I need to dive into my database more. I'm still seeing areas where I'm missing opportunities. So, um, definitely diving more into my database, doing more client events. This year, my goal is 10. That might be lofty, but you have to have something out there. So, my client events have been really good for my business. And like the one I just had in particular, we did just a party here at my office, and I rented a tent out in the parking lot and just hired somebody to play music, had it catered, and I invited all my clients. And also, in conjunction with that, I did a charity event. So this has been real successful for me, is to tie it into an opportunity for them to give back. So I could go, and right now it's the Salvation Army Angel Tree. And, I think, I could go and just give a big donation to Salvation Army Angel Tree, whatever. But I have found that my clients love the opportunity to come and be able to do it. So not only, yes, I'm making this donation by hosting this party for my clients, and they all love it. They love to come and visit and meet each other. But then I'm also getting, them to donate to Angel Tree. And so this year we're able to give like 60 gifts to Angel Tree. My goal is 100. We were a little late this year, but it worked out. And so instead of me giving, and I did give to the Angel Tree, but instead of me just giving them, whatever, I was able to let the community get involved. And so I love that. And
I
I
love
think,
that. I think
mm,
once you get, like, my biggest thing is I try to do these events and I try to put it all on me, but if you get the community involved, and this is one thing I've done recently, like over the last 4 months, especially here in the Austin area with Real, I have all these agents, we do all these, I've been one putting in all these events and trying to do it all. And so I've really tried over the last 4 months to empower the rest of the agents to jump up and take place and have them get the shine, have them get the opportunity to put on the events,
Yeah.
have us support. And I feel like the community is gotten more galvanized. The same thing our clients too. If you put something together for your clients to come together, where it's not just, hey, come have ice cream, but hey, we're going to do a charity event and we're going to give back. We're going to do this, or do like a day of service with, and then get your clients, your past clients involved, then they're part of your community. You'll have a
Right.
deeper bond. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's me. It's about giving back to my community. And I think everybody has that spirit. Some just don't know where to dive into it. And so when you invite them to it, that's different than saying, oh, here's this thing or here's that thing. But if you actually invite them, then they feel a sense of involvement. And I think it's great.
I love it.
Mhm.
I want to go real quick. I want to jump into the Sharon stuff here in a second, because I really felt like, um, it helped me put my stuff on paper. But I want to go through some of the stuff people have said. So Brianna says she's going to do 119 units. Brianna, in a second, I'd love for you to talk about how you're going to do 119 units over 12 months. Curious about that. Mark said he's going to do 100 closed. He's a lender, so he's going to do 100 loans and teach 20 CE classes and lose 20 pounds. I love it. Those are really good goals to have. The CE classes are tough, so I'm curious how you're going to leverage those, what help you're going to get with those. Matt Bogosian, if you are looking for a YouTube channel to get ideas on how your YouTube channel could be better, Matt Bogosian, I think, is one of the best YouTube channels that is easy to replicate in your market. So I would follow Matt Bogosian. Matt, I'm curious in a second how you're going to get Instagram to 1,500 followers. And then Allie, you just said you're going to do 25 deals. So Brianna, I'll let you go first. And I really want to get to the Sharon thing, but I think it's really more important that we get our goals out and we vocalize our goals so we can have accountability. What's your goals there? 119.
Good morning, everyone. Totally not working in the office today, as you can see.
You're good.
Work-life balance, but so business plan is done for 2025. I'm on a team with one other full-time realtor. So there's Dana and myself, and our goal is 119. We did 75 units this year. We had lots of office changes, systems, like we had a lot of change. So we're really proud with all of that we did what we did. So next year is 119. We just started doing events. So we did 2 this year. We're doing 4 next year. And we have a huge referral clientele. So for us, our CMP up here are huge in Canada, and we have provided such amazing service that we keep getting referrals that way, and referrals from our past clients, which links back to Allie and like doing the events and doing it for specifically just them too is what we're doing, instead of just for the public. Like we'll do like a VIP the hour before for past clients, and then open to the public after that. So
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So going from 75 to 119, what do you think? What are the extra pieces and how are you going to time block those?
So the good old hour of power, again, like up in Yukon, Canada, in Yukon, Canada, we are 100 steps behind the entire world. So we are just implementing Follow-Up Boss, like using and utilizing it to not even a quarter of what it could be doing, or like we're only using a quarter of it. But our hour of power is huge. We're committed to our coach for accountability, for giving him numbers every single day to ensure that we're doing our calls. And my motto is, if it's not in Follow-Up Boss, it didn't happen. So that's my every morning, an hour and a half, like, is huge, because we haven't been doing that and we've gotten to 75. So if we do it, with more events, I think we're going to hit our goal.
Amazing. I love it. One thing I heard you say is that you have some sort of accountability in there. I think the accountability is the biggest thing. So in the comment section, write if you have an accountability partner, and if you don't, who you're going to make your accountability partner, because I think that's one of the most important things. I just put in the chat, if you want to pull this up on the side, my flow desk. And so the flow desk has access to the previous on YouTube, all the previous calls we've done, and then the playbooks that we've done. The only reason I'm saying that is that when you talked right now, you talked about some things I thought were important, and it made me remember last week's call with my coach, Christy Jenks. One of the things that she said, so watch last week's call. It was phenomenal. It's the 5 things you need to do as an agent. And she talked about 2 things to not do. The one thing that I felt was more powerful than anything were the things not to do. And Becky was on the call, so she remembers this, but it was to not dabble. And so I would encourage all of you to take that seriously, that whatever goals that we're setting in, we're not going to reach those goals financially, health-wise, if we're just dabbling. So if you've dabbled in something and you're not going to dabble in this next year, write it in the comment section. Allie, what's one thing that you've dabbled in this year that you're not going to dabble in? You're either going full in or you're getting rid of it.
Well, I need an assistant. I think I dabbled in not pulling the trigger and just being willing to hire and fire if they don't work out.
Yeah.
My transaction coordinator's been great, but I need an assistant. So I'm going to get an assistant. But I also think, it's important when you're talking about dabble, the one thing that has helped me the most is my board that is right in front of my face every day. I have a big board, just like these I have back here, but I have a board that's in my bathroom that is, this big, and it has every single goal that I have for the year. It has my number of units, personal goals, everything. I mean, it can be, I want to maintain a certain weight, or I want this many units. And then I track it on my board and I look at it every day, several times a day. And I think that if you're not doing that, it is super easy to get lost in the dabble.
Yeah. One thing that I was just at a Tom Ferry event here in Austin, and where was I going with this? Oh God, it was exactly on this, and I totally just lost it. But it was on the lines with dabbling too. All right, so Mike said he's going to do direct mail. It was direct mail. Were you dabbling? Are you going all in on direct mail? What are you doing there? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I was dabbling in direct mail, and I'm going to be shifting focus to farm through YouTube ads.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
So I'm going to kind of, notch down my kids are being crazy in the background.
That's all right.
Gonna notch down my, targeting geographically, and create a series of YouTube ads to run in sequence to zoom in on those folks that I want to target.
Perfect. Yeah. So
can I piggyback on that?
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
So, Mike, I would love to connect. So, one of the things that I'm doing, and actually, I just figured this out. I have figured out a way to make direct mail affordable. I'm not using EDDM because EDDM is not targeting all of the people I want. I have to spend more in order to do EDDM than the people I have. I have a spreadsheet of everybody in my farm, their name and address that I downloaded from tax records. I have every seller lead in my CRM. I'm also one of the niches that I'm targeting is medical residents. So I have all of these things, and it's these are the people. There's literally about 600 people that I really want to target for direct mail. And I just actually did all the stuff with my imprint license, and it's costing me less than $200 to mail 600 and something pieces. And I'm not doing postcards. I actually created like 5x7 cards that are like, sort of think about it like farming stuff, but it's a little bit more personal. It's like it's seasonal, all that I'm mailing. I have no idea if it's going to work, but I'm trying it and I'm like going all in on it because I feel like I have sort of dabbled with mailing, farming, etc. But I also want to layer in and I have a QR code on every single card that goes out to sort of take them back to digital, but I want to sort of like also incorporate doing YouTube ads, but I need to set up another channel for that, all that for those same people. But anyways, that's something that I'm sort of going all in.
I love
I love
that.
it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We need to
Man,
talk.
Can we
Yeah, I
hear
would-
more about that, Jeremy? Can you
Yeah,
get
go
her on
ahead.
here for one? That is amazing.
Are you
That is
talking about
so
the
smart.
ads or
What
for
Becky's talking about.
about the EDDM or
No,
about the
about
direct mail?
niching down on what your farm is. It sounds like what she's doing. She's like created a niche, a
Yeah,
niche
so
farm of people that she wants to target specifically rather than just sending out a bunch of stuff to the universe and hoping to get a response. It's really smart.
Mhm.
I love it. Yeah, do you want to elaborate a little more, Becky, how you did that?
Sure. So I had tried all of like the EDDM, the farming, all that. I never really got first, to be fair, I wasn't super consistent, but I never really got a strong reaction from it. And the people who do it, great. But what I did is I basically said, okay, what what can I do? Like I have like a whole document by month of everything that I'm going to do, like so that I'm not dabbling. It's like, okay, anybody that I have an email address for, um, they are getting, and I have the monthly newsletter created for every month of 2025. So that's done. The only things that I have the articles typed, everything. The only thing I have to update are the monthly events and the market stats. That's it. Everything is already done, created, and then I just need to schedule it to be sent. What I did for for the mailing pieces is I basically said, what is the farm that I want? What are the neighborhoods that I want to work in? And I pulled those and I said, okay, I downloaded the tax records from my MLS. So I have an entire file, and it also, my MLS actually shows the date that it was sold, and the date that it was, and how much and all that kind of stuff. So I basically just, you have to like sort that file a little bit and get rid of a bunch of shit that you don't want. But I basically have name, address, date sold, and sale price. And I have and then I created, I know some people on like the TF world had done something. I found something, I created my own thing. I created a formula. Zillow's website links are the same for everything. So I basically copied and pasted what the formula is because it's like address, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end, I think it's like RB. And I said, I want you, based on this file, I use Google Sheets for everything for the most part. And I said, I want you to create, it created the Zillow links for everybody in there. I created one formula, dragged it down. I have a link. I click on it. It pulls up exactly the thing. So I can do my ZMA. I can do everything. Um, and pull that into whatever I want. But I have all of that information about everybody. When I get a call from somebody for a mailer that I've sent out, they're not in I don't add them to my CRM, and somebody can say yay or nay on that. But what I do is essentially put the phone number and they get highlighted because I've had a conversation with them and I want to continue to nurture them because there's an interest. And so I sort of do that. But basically just creating that whole list and managing that list, and I've got it segmented. Like I have like, so my farm is really like two neighborhoods technically in the MLS. So I have those and I have each of those separated. Then I have like, I'm targeting medical residents. And so I had spent a lot of time going through like we have like one main hospital system, and I basically stalked the internet and everything and found everybody who, because it has who the residents are. I have a list of the residents and their specialty. I went through, it takes a little bit of work. I went through and I looked up every single resident in the MLS to see if they're a homeowner. I have that as a separate list and their address and all of the things. Again, Zillow link for them so I can see their stuff. And so I have those. And for those people, I have an address. I don't have anything else, but they're going to get something from me every single month, twice a month. I'm mailing out a physical hard copy of my newsletter that's two-sided, and it's basically the same thing. But I'm sort of taking a different approach in terms of this direct mail and all that. I'm just trying to be like, hey, I'm just going to give you so much information and just like fun stuff that when you're ready, because if you, for example, for the residents, if you're gonna move, likely you're either going to, after your residency is done, you're either going to take a full-time attending job somewhere else, you're going to go get a fellowship, or you're going to actually be making real money and you're going to stay here and you're going to want to move. Because I mean, and our hospital even has what the salary is. I know exactly what the salary is for every year during their residency. So
That's
I
taking stocking to the next level. I love it.
do, listen, never underestimate a woman. um but seriously, I can literally say, this is how much money they make. How much house can they afford? And a lot of them, I follow on Instagram, the CMC, Carolina's Medical Center, is like the main system. And each specialty, peds, OB, ortho, emergency medicine, they have Facebook groups for their residents or Instagram groups. And I follow them and I see them. And guess what they do? They do resident introductions where they post stuff about that resident. So I'm just like literally like gathering all of this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I know where these residents go. I know where they're kind of hanging out. I know what they like to do. And so I can kind of then just sort of do that. And so I can literally mail them something twice a month for less than $1
I love that.
because
What's
I know
great
they
too
are.
is then you can create, and I've seen your Instagram is very, if you're not following her on Instagram, she makes really good content with Amara, who, if you're not working with Amara is fantastic. But they make really good content where it's pointed directly at those people. And I think that's the biggest problem a lot of us have is when we go to start creating content too, we don't really think about how who our avatar is. And why I bring up the avatar, and I'm going to get to Sharon stuff here in a second. Don't just hang with me. Matt Bogosian, who is going to increase his Instagram. I'm curious, Matt, your target audience, you created a really great one on YouTube. I'm curious how you're going to go from where you are now to 1,500 on Instagram. And secondly, why can't we make that goal 10,000?
Right, right, right. Well, it's funny you mentioned the dabbling. So I've always dabbled in Instagram, and it just something clicked like a month ago, and I was like, okay, I get most of my business from YouTube, and that's why I just dabbled in Instagram. I was like, short form is silly. I don't even want to mess with it. But what I'm going to do is, and I started doing it, if you go over to my Instagram, I'm making short versions of every YouTube video that I make, and I'm putting them up as reels and basically pointing people to my profile where they can then go to my YouTube and see the long form if they want. So I'm really, to justify my motivation, I guess, or to getting on Instagram, I've decided to use it as a way to funnel people over to my YouTube and just connect the dots basically. And I've cleaned up my profile. I've got a link now and it's nice and clean. And that's kind of my thought process on it. As far as the amount of followers, I don't know. I seriously, it could be. I hope it's 10,000. I mean, I don't, I have done nothing with it really. I've just basically been reposting long form content on Instagram, which does not really work. So,
I want to show you guys somebody who on Instagram, and this might work for you as well when you're thinking about your Instagram, but I want to show you somebody that I've had on here before, and we've talked about YouTube, and I have never talked to him about his Instagram. So I'm going to show you this real quick. And I want to show this to everybody just to show you that this is a guy who just works on YouTube, very similar to Matt, and he crushes. Name Rod Alawan. I'll pull up in a second. He crushes it on YouTube. And, I've got 8,000 followers on Instagram, but I have content about real estate. I've got content about agent tactics. I got content about this. My content is sporadic. I looked at Rod's. He's passing me in followers. He's in a smaller market, doesn't talk to realtors at all. And you guys would be shocked to see what he's doing in just his market. So let me pull this up real quick. Let's see, where is it? This one.
What's his last name, Jeremy?
I'm pulling it up right now. So
Okay.
Rod Alawan, he's in New Braunfels, Texas. And so New Braunfels, Texas, with this 8,600 followers in New Braunfels. And he used to be a news anchor, not a news anchor, but he would like do field reporting. And so he treats his Instagram the same way. And his audience is just New Braunfels, 8,600. I'm out here trying to get agents, I'm not focused on one avatar, right? And this is the same thing all of us probably do is we make funny content for realtors. We make funny content for our avatar. But look, this is the type of thing that he creates. I don't know if you're going to hear this. Can you hear it? Shake your head if you can hear it. No. Let me try to reshare this then. So basically all he's doing is he has a videographer.
You have the
but
mute button on the thing. You can see it. Maybe if you had
Yeah, I
muted
know,
it.
but I can hear it. You can't. Can you hear it? Okay, so I'll just kind of tell you what he's doing. So right here, he's got a videographer, but 99% of the time he doesn't have a videographer. And so he will take his, he'll just take his tripod and he'll go out and he'll talk about something newsy about his area. Now, I would think like, okay, this is probably boring. It's not going to get a lot of views. Look at the view counts on some of this stuff. 12,000 views, and he talked about the water district. They bought the thing. These get more views than 90% of my like funny content. And look at the likes, shares. So this is all just newsy content. Let me stop and reshare and see if I can share it where it will share.
You know what I love about him, Jeremy?
Audio. Yeah.
He's like giving real information and value and not really screwing around. And that's my personality. Like, it's cool. Some people like to do the different stuff that's like entertaining. He's just like giving value because I've watched a lot of his stuff on YouTube and I like his style.
Well, he did one right here. And yeah, I 100% agree. He did this one the other day. Like, how hard is it to do this? I got it with the audio this time. So this is at 5,200 views. How hard is it to do this?
New Braunfels' newest master plan community. Oh my, moving forward at breakneck speed. Right now, we are in the middle of a major amenity at Mayfair called Fairway Park. In just a second, I'm going to tell you how this park is going to play out for residents of Mayfair and residents in New Braunfels as well. So Mayfair, let's recap, is located just north of the Walmart Distribution Center, northern edge, New Braunfels, and this community will eventually straddle both sides of I-35, a town within a town. There are homes already closed and lived in, hundreds more on the way. There's going to be retail, restaurants, office space. There's going to be an entertainment district, a community pool, trails, green.
All right, you guys get the point there, but I love that he's focused directly on clients in his area. I think too many times we make content where we don't, and then the reason why I wanted to show this is like Becky was talking about and what you're talking about. And my biggest problem is when I make a channel or I make something, I don't focus on the right people. I focus on too many people and not niching down. And this is what I love about what Becky was talking about with, I'm only going to go after this year. I'm going to focus on going after these people. I've created the list of people I'm going after. This is the people I'm going to get. So I love that. And I want to go through Sharon's thing in a second. Anybody else want to share before I do some of their goals and what they're going to do to hit those goals?
Jeremy, what was Rod's last name?
Alawan, Alawan. I'll share his thing here in the chat. Anybody else want to share before we move into the Sharon part? Just go ahead and unmute yourself. Share to, let's copy link.
Well, I have one. I mean, I want to do 25 million in volume this year and raise my average sales price. And so was backing into, well, how are you going to do it? And it's through client events. So kind of I'm backing into what my plan is for that. Client events, joining the luxury division on Real, and then doing, where am I going to find those people that are going to help raise my average sales price? And it's, participating at going to charity event functions, where you got the people spending a lot of money, doing a table there, things like that. It just,
Well, what are you doing at the table there? Careful, girl.
yeah, no, buying a table, maybe, and
Oh,
making that
okay.
actually one of my, that could be a client event,
Yeah.
buying a table at a charity event and inviting my clients to come. But it's putting yourself out there. So that's what I'm going to do. To do that, then to raise my sales price, I need to be surrounded by people who can purchase more.
So it's interesting you say that. So I'm one of those people that likes to, work with higher net worth clients. So I'm spending a ton of money to buy a car condo at the Circuit of the Americas track. And when I tell people that, they're like, oh my God, you're just some like car snob. No. Last week we did a car event at the track. So I'm spending a lot, I'm putting our YouTube studio in there, but I'm buying this car condo. Last weekend, we hung out with people that are making $5 to $10 million a year off of just drop ship stuff.
Yeah.
They literally we were at this event and then they invite me to their house. We're hanging all night. Like, we don't usually like to hang out with people. You guys are awesome. And I'm like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever, because these people are making tons of money and think I'm great. Right. And we all know I'm not that great. We can just say that in the chat. Jeremy's not that great. So, but I'm just like, this is amazing. And so you're right. You have to, sometimes it costs a little money to spend money to be around those people. Becky is the prime example of that. She's spending money to be in front of those people. So sometimes we got to spend some money to be there. So Jeremy's awesome. Don't lie, Beth. Come on, you're killing everybody here. I have a dumb question, is what Amy says. How can I find the views on someone else's Instagram page? It was easy. So when you click on their page, there's a little thing that looks like a reel at the very top. It's a small little button. If you click on that, it'll show you their tabs and the views. Okay, so I want to get into Sharon's thing. In the chat up here a minute ago, I posted Sharon's link for the 2024. I'm going to repost that along with the chart to fill out. I think this was the 2024 chart as well. And so I want to share this because we did this last week and I felt it was really, really good. I'm going to share a screen here if you all don't mind, if I can even find it. I think it was not that one. Hold on. If I could find it. Geez, Jeremy, come on, man. You're killing everybody here. I'm mumbling at myself too. Hold on. Oh, it was that one. All right, perfect. Okay. So some of the things that I found really interesting on here is like when I set up my goals, I don't really set them up the right way and thinking the right way. So if you're in Real, you can go into Real Academy and watch this again. The replay is in there. This is the replay. I did put in the chat his 2024. So it's not going to be the stuff for 2025, but it's all the same kind of it's all the same stuff realistically. It's just 2024. I think 2025, what they did really well in 2020 on the 2025 one was, so this, when you go into the 24, it's this. What was it? This is my sheet I'm filling out. What was it? What he did in the 25, let's see if I can go back one. Is if you're at Real, you can get into this one, but they did, the slide presentation where it was like, here's all the things to do to get business in 2025. So I felt like this was really, really good. There's a lot of different video ideas. It was a tide riser. So they did 9 proven marketing ideas. If you're interested in this, I will try to see how I can get you a copy of this, because I don't know that it's outside of Real Academy, but it was really great. So he was setting up doing the tide risers, and then so a tide riser being something where you make a Facebook post where it's like, if you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And then then later that day, then you post the thing you really want to post, right? So it's juicing the algorithm. He talked about doing the ZMA. They were doing at TELUS a long time ago before Tom Ferry picked it up, but he walked through the ZMA and how that's working still with agents. One thing that I thought was really great, and I think a lot of us can do, is the video content that's talking to specific buyers, right? So he did a few different examples of, hey, I have a private buyer that is looking for this in this area. We've seen everything in the market. My clients' names are Steve and Mary, whatever, and they're looking specifically for this. They're moving from this area. Now, what I felt like is really good when you make content like that is I did a video about that on that a while ago, looking for $5 million homes in Austin for clients of mine. And I got a lot of agents that reached out to me, which was great. So I was connecting with agents, not as many buyers on that. So maybe I need to do another one. But if you found value, if you were on that and found value in his call there. So if you want me to try to find a way to do that, or maybe we do a longer thing on it, I can, but let me get into his. So here's the chart, and I'll go into his in a second, but I like how it laid it out, and I put in there a copy where you can fill out. So there's a link in there so you can fill out your own. But it talked about my purpose, my team, my family, my legacy. One of the problems I always have is when I do my business goals, I do me, team, and I forget family and legacy. And on mine, this is why I said now I have 3 different parts, and I'm curious, if you're filling out something like this, what you're doing. But family was one thing that I always leave off, and I'm curious what you're going to put on for your family, because I feel like family is really important to everybody. And if you don't have a good, solid family, and maybe that family's your, whatever brokerage you're at, it's that family, the agent family, whatever that is, or maybe you put your team as your agent team. And he had on here, when he filled his out, it was, if you're doing, agent attraction or a brokerage does that, how are you going to do that? So I thought that was really good that he broke it up into different ways. But this was really great too. The 3-year vision for your health. Mark on here a minute ago said that he wants to lose 20 pounds this year. Well, if you break that into 20 pounds, what's your 90-day goal then, Mark? What is your 90-day goals to hit a 20 pounds by the end of this year, right? So year 1 would be 20 pounds. Year 3 would be what? You don't want to lose 40 pounds, right? By year 3. So what does the 90-day action plan look like? And actually writing that. All right, well, I'm going to cut this out of my diet, whatever. Your brand. This is where I think if you're struggling with your brand and what your brand is, in the chat, just say that's me. But, and then we'll talk about brand here in a second. But what does your brand look like? What are you going to do for your brand? Ali on here was talking about doing more client-facing events and doing events in the community and charity events. Is your brand increasing your productivity in that realm, right? Relationships, right? One thing he said on here was his gratitude. So he wanted to send out 1 video a day, videoing, sending somebody saying that, hey, I'm grateful for you and I'm grateful for what you're doing. So how many relationships is that? What's your 3-year? What's your 1 year? And then what is your 90-day goal for that? So in 90 days, I want to send out 90, every single day I'm gonna send a video to somebody that's one of my followers, or somebody that's commented on something or something, right? What's your income goals? I put mine 3 years is 10 million, and 1 year is 4 million in a year. That means I got to do in the next 90 days 340K a month. So I can build an action plan around how I'm going to sell that and do 340K a month this month to do a $4 million a year this year. And that's where mine is team. Help my team create financial success. Take 1 trip a month with my family. And so what does that look like, right? Creating generational wealth for my family. Who else in the chat is trying to create generational wealth for their family? I'm curious. Soul searching. Hector, man, I feel like I've done a lot of soul searching this year as well. Yeah, Joanna absolutely wants to do. Joanna, somebody you should be following as well is Joanna Arnold. Joe knows BR. She is doing some really great stuff as well. Okay, I would love that presentation slide. I will see what I can do to get it to you, Beth. Beth wants to be debt-free, and her daughter graduated from all her college debt-free. Yeah, I mean, I love that. So these are the goals that I think when we are setting our financial goals, if we don't hit a financial goal, or if we don't hit like a sales goal, but we were able to accomplish one of the other goals that we're looking for, then we were successful this year.
Mhm. I think if you hit all your goals, maybe your goals weren't lofty enough.
Oof. Ouch, Allie. You just punched everybody in the face. Come on,
Sorry.
Allie.
Sorry. I mean, because I think when you're setting a goal, and this is personal to everybody, but if you're setting a goal, it should be like a little scary, you know?
Yeah.
It should be. It should make you a little uncomfortable. I mean, the 25 million that I put out for myself next year, my run this morning, I was running thinking maybe you should lower that. So I mean, I didn't hit my goals this year. My units, I wanted like 49 units. I hit 42. I hit the volume, but and it's all this. You hit this, you don't hit that, whatever. But you got to start here, in my opinion.
I love that.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yeah.
One thing
Go ahead,
one thing I picked up from Sharon's training, he talked about making sure that you set goals for things for you that like move the needle. And I've been guilty in the past of being like, all right, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to get abs. I'm going to sell this. I'm going to do this. And I look at my week and I'm like, how the frick are you going to do these so many things like all week? It's impossible. So like one thing I did in 2024, and it really helped me because I was a little bit in a weird headspace in the beginning of the year. Because remember, guys, it started slowing down and we were all kind of freaking out. And I just put my head down and I'm like, Matt, you get sales from YouTube videos. So you're going to make videos, get leads, close it, repeat. And that's what I did all year. And like, I just blocked everything out and it worked. So I guess my point is just don't set too many different goals that like pull you all over the place.
Yeah. That's really good, man. And I want to stay on you for a second because your YouTube channel drove how much in a down market this year, how much revenue did your YouTube channel alone drive you?
I mean, my YouTube channel, I did 22 million this year, and I think it was like 99% of my business.
22 million.
Yeah.
And okay, so amazing. So if we're setting goals, right, to do 22 million and you're getting X amount off of the YouTube channel, what is your weekly goal then for content?
I try to do a YouTube video per week. That's really
Okay.
my goal. And now, of course, I'm doing the Instagram reel that kind of goes along with it as well.
Okay. Are you shooting the Instagram reel separate, or are you just cutting from the long form video?
I've figured out ways to do them all simultaneously. So
Okay.
like my camera shoots in a frame that's bigger than a normal 16:9, so I can cut it and it looks like I meant to shoot it.
Yep.
And the same with when I'm doing my tours, I'll use like an Insta360 camera that can also be cut into vertical. So I do it all at the same time. So everything looks like it was shot for it, but I do them separate when I get back and edit them. So I guess to some it might sound complicated, but for me, I've kind of just got it down,
So I was on the call with an agent the other day, and they were wanting to do all of this. And I said, hey, look, instead of spending the extra money, because they were wanting to improve their YouTube channel, I said, instead of spending the extra money to hire somebody, go into Fiverr, find somebody that will edit videos for you for $50 a thing. Go find somebody else's video that's very similar and just say, hey, look, I want to emulate this style. I'll try to shoot it that way. And then I'll send you the stuff and upload it. And you could go into Fiverr and do that. And that's a good way to start. So now you're spending $200 a month on editing videos and spending the time doing it. And it'll save you some time and money. Or you can do what Matt does, and Matt spends 8 hours editing it. But the thing too is you have to think about is when you're trying to create these goals, you got to save the time. So you got to learn how to shoot the videos in a way that's easy for you to edit. And that's what I love about your channel is it's shot in a way that's actually simple, right? You're not trying to do too much, but it's so effective because it's shot in a way that's easy to edit. And if you guys want Matt to come back on and talk about how he does that, we can have him on. Matt and I did a top 10 for YouTube last year. If you want Matt to come back on, we'll do that. Just some updates for you. We are moving agent tactics to Thursdays at 10 a.m. starting next year, because Matt's going to fly down every Friday and go golfing with me. So we're going to golf every Friday going forward in 25. And if you're in Austin and want to golf on a Friday, this is my personal goal, is to golf 48 times next year. I'm not a good golfer. It's not that I want to do that. I found that when I golf, it gives me an opportunity to relax my brain, shut some things down, and focus on me. One of my personal goals this year is me, right? I have to focus on me because I can't do everything all at once. So that being said, next year, at the beginning of the year, we'll start announcing it. I have Rod Allawan coming on. I didn't talk about him because I wanted to promote next year. I really do believe in him. I have him early in the year. We're going to do a CapCut editing the first week of January. And then who is the other person I have coming on? Matt, get with me, and we'll probably do you the end of, I've got two. Who was the other? I got one more. So stay tuned. I got a lot of really cool people coming out. So there we go. All right. So we got 12 minutes left. I can keep going through some of their Sharon stuff. You should be able to watch the link I gave you, should give you the 2024 tour on his thing. I recommend at least just doing that if you haven't. What other goals have we got for the people that are in here? Because I really want to hear some other goals. Ray, I haven't heard you say anything yet. Barbara, you've been brief. Amy, I can see y'all. Joe, I want to know your personal goals for next year. Come on, girl. What do we got? Who's going to step up?
I will.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So my goals this year are, I spent a lot of time last year just dabbling with social media, trying to figure it all out. So I do want to focus on growing my YouTube channel and just taking that content and putting it across the other platforms. I've just been not terribly successful at any of it, but doing it all. My unit goals will be 65 this year. I'm down. I used to be about 100 deal a year agent. And after the pandemic, I just burnt right out and focused on doing other things. But I want to get back and rebuild up to the 100 deals a year. So I'm around 50 this year. And I used to be mostly past client center of influence people. I used to contact them all the time. I was religious on the phones. I got really distracted with social media. I stopped making my calls all the time. So we've recently, my assistant and I built out my follow-up boss. So we've got it all. When I went to the Tom Ferry event, I hired Key Technologies to build out my action plans. We went live with that yesterday. So everybody has an action plan assigned to them now. And yeah, client events. I've never really done client events. I'm a rather bashful person. So I did one last summer. It was just a donation to the local food drive, and I brought in an ice cream truck in a subdivision that I represented for years. So, I've got one of those houses on the market now. I sold her a house, so that was good. And yeah, I mean, trying to post 4 videos a month on YouTube will be my goal for going forward with social media.
I love that. So I'm harassing Amy in the comment section. Don't go anywhere, Barbara. We're going to talk about you. But I'm harassing Amy in the comment section about. She says she's going all in on Instagram and YouTube, and so I'm asking, what's the plan? And so I'm going to ask you the same question. In order to do 4 videos a month, what is the plan? And the reason why I asked that, if I ask Matt, what's your schedule for shooting? He can give me his schedule for shooting and how he does it. So what is your plan to stay on track? That's 52 videos next year. You're going to have a couple weeks off here and there. So what is the plan to get 52 videos done next year?
Well, I don't have like a film, like a, what do you call it? Somebody to film me. So
A
it'll be,
videographer. Yep.
yeah, videographer. So I'll be doing it myself, but I do have an assistant that does editing. So my goal will be to do what you said at the event. I'm gonna post a market update once a month. I'm gonna post a neighborhood tour. I'm gonna post a listing content a video tour, and just information about the area, and just double
love
down
it.
on my small marketplace. So um I haven't figured out a actual, get up at 2:30 in the morning on Tuesdays and be done by 2:30, Jeremy, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to give that some serious consideration.
So this is what's I think really important about like the way Sharon laid out the thing. I'd really recommend everybody go through it, the 2024 version that I have available online, because I think it's really important that we actually write it down. That way it's scheduled.
Yeah.
Right. If it's not scheduled, doesn't happen. Like I paid for a videographer. So it's the same. He was talking about going to the gym, right? So if you want to go to the gym, the best way to be accountable and have the accountability partner is to go hire somebody. That way, if you're missing, you're paying for it. Well, I hired a videographer. He's not on here. Oh, he might edit this. So I pay him a fee every month, regardless of how much content I go out and shoot. So it is on my calendar that on Tuesdays, we shoot on Tuesdays. It's my job to make sure I have the content available on Tuesdays. Because guess what happens? If I don't show up on Tuesday and I don't shoot content and nothing comes out, well, he doesn't have anything to edit. I still pay him. Okay. So I think that's really, really important. And that's where I think the biggest thing all of us can do from this is put together an accountability piece. Who's going to hold us accountable? Are you going to use Matt Bogosian as your accountability partner? Are you going to say, Matt, every month we're going to jump on a call to go over my content for the month because I want you to hold me accountable. And if I don't do it, here's the accountability piece, right? What is that going to be for you? Same thing, Amy, you're talking about going all in on video. I love it. I love the idea. You said you're going to do 3 video, 3 short form, 1 long. Perfect. What's the schedule look like? I can guarantee you that if I ask Becky right now, what's the plan for putting out the cards, she's already got the plan because she built it, right? This is the time of year. We got 2 weeks really where it's Christmas time, stuff's happening. This is the time to sit down and shoot and take care of some of that stuff and put those plans together. Joanne Arnold, again, if you are not following Joanne on Instagram, I love her to death. She's great. 71 units for her. I'm curious, Joanna, didn't you do like 190,000 units? I feel like you did this year. 15 million in volume. 3 focuses are expired listings, social growth on IG, to 8,000 followers, database domination, and 11 appointments a month. So 3 a week. So I like how that's laid out where it's 3 a week. So the question is, how are you getting those? Just focusing on expireds. I love it. What's the calls to action on Instagram that's going to drive those people? How are you getting them to 8,000? Right. So that's what we're here. So I want to take the opportunity. Joanne, there you are. I see your
I'm
face.
here. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Everybody say hello to
I've been
Joanne.
cleaning up my database for database domination.
I love it. All right. So walk us through some of how you're going to do this, because look, she's got all the books behind her, everything. Let's hear how you're going to do it.
Okay, so the expires, I basically developed a system and I call so many a week, right? And follow up with so many a week. It's like my least favorite thing to do. So I don't like stack it like every day because I don't like doing it. But I do get a lot of business from it. The Instagram growing to 8,000 followers. So that's more focused on the things that bring me the most business and the things that people want to see the most. So more like hyper local videos. People love when I post about food. I had kind of stopped because one of my goals last year was to lose 20 pounds, which I did. And in losing 20 pounds, I couldn't be eating like I was eating.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped with the videos about the food, but I asked a question one day about, hey, Allie, I asked a question one day you know, like what would they like to see? And people was like, we love when you make food videos. I was like, okay, I'll make more food videos. I just won't eat. I'll just show it, right? Um,
Yeah.
so doing that, the home tours, and then I have value videos, I do those. And so database domination for me, a lot of my business comes from my database. So meeting up with them more. So we have a Facebook group. We all kind of talk there, but I want to be with them more. So we're gonna start doing like girls' night out. We did the Starbucks thing this week. They loved it. Like that was better than me giving away a $500 grill. It was like I was like, okay, so now I can save money. I was like, because they really like the Starbucks thing. So moving forward, every month we'll probably do Starbucks. So we'll probably alternate with like Chick-fil-A or something like that. So just being in front of my clients more, my past clients and my sphere, and being with them more. We do client events, but I want to do more.
Ooh, I love that. So one thing, you were on Agent Tactics a while ago. One thing that you talked about was the Facebook group. Can you real quick go through, and if you don't do this to your clients, I would take notes right now. Matt, you need to be doing this. Becky, definitely be doing this with all of the people that you're stalking. I mean, putting into your, just kidding. Uh, and Allie and McKenna, if you're not doing this, in fact, I just create an Agent Tactics group. That way we can all go in there and hold each other accountable. But I want to hear what you're doing because I think everybody needs to hear what you're doing with this. This is amazing.
Yeah, so I have a Facebook VIP group, and that's what I call it. I mean, but we add all of our clients to it after we close. I do have some people from my sphere that are in there. Those are people that refer me a lot of business. I want them to have the same, you know, advantages that a lot of my clients have. So a lot of family is in there as well. So we do monthly giveaways. It can be, like I said, we're gonna start doing the Starbucks stuff more because I feel like people really like that. But last year, every month we did like some type of giveaway that was under $200. So it could be like an Airbnb gift card. And so the catch is, in order for you to enter the drawing, like you literally have to call me. You have to call me or you have to text me. Because I don't want to keep calling you all the time. So asking you for business. So yeah, so that was the catch. They call me. And I mean, I think we did it like every Friday and Saturday, like the third Friday and Saturday of the month. And then on Monday was the drawing. I would do it in Facebook Live. So people call me or they text me or they send me like a Facebook message or something like that. And that's how they get entered. So other ways that they can get entered into the drawing is they can leave they can leave a review. They can leave it on Facebook, they can leave it on Google, they can leave it on Zillow, Realtor.com, wherever. And if you send a referral, you get like 3 entries.
Can I ask you a question about your Facebook group?
Mm-hmm.
Do they talk to each other in there?
So sometimes it
Mhm.
depends. It depends on, and we're gonna start doing like more questions. So one of the things that we're focusing on this year is helping people to not only invest in real estate, but to grow their personal business.
Mhm.
So we're gonna start posting more stuff about how to create like a LLC or how to get a
That's a good one.
CPA. Yeah, so different stuff like that, because a lot of my clients have businesses, or a lot of people aspire to have businesses, but they don't know where to start. So we're
Well, I
gonna
think
start.
it could be really a good, cool networking thing for your clients too with each other.
Exactly. And a lot of my clients, a lot of my female clients, they're nurses. So I was like, if we do like we meet up like a girls' night, like every quarter or something like that, they can start to get to know each other and they can connect each other with, you know, nurse stuff. I don't know what they do, but but I'm pretty sure like if they have a conversation, they could find that they have a lot in common. So I want to start getting all of them together too, so they can be, you know, in a circle, you know, where they have a network of people as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea. I have a lot of young couples that sell houses too that I think could all be friends with each other if they knew each other,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. So
I'm going to put, so I love this. So I am going to put in the chat the Facebook group for Agent Tactics. And it's this kind of stuff that I think that we all need to continue to share, because I would have never thought to put together a Facebook group. Honestly, I did the Facebook group for Agent Tactics because I was sending out emails. I was doing all this stuff. I'm like, why don't I just get everybody together? And it was because of Joanna. And I was like, I was going back through old calls And I saw, I was like, damn it, I need to do a Facebook group for everybody. So join the Facebook group because I want everybody to really come together and support each other. I want a really good community where we can help each other out. One of the notes that I put on there is this is not a place to attract. This is not a place to spam about your brokerage. I won't do it if you won't do it. I just want to create a community that that we can really come together, because all of these little ideas are really ideas that if we didn't dabble, we could really create something great. So I DM'd or I messaged Becky. Becky's going to come on. We'll probably do February. We're going to talk about her whole strategy. I got a lot of other stuff. It's past 11 o'clock, so we got to go. Allie, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to give you the last word.
Well, hey, everybody, just quit dabbling. That's what I think the big word was, right? Dabble. Get away with dabble. You know, but
I love it.
yeah, and I love all the great ideas. Thanks for sharing, and let's hold each other accountable.
Awesome. Matt's coming back. I can't wait to bring him back. That was fun when we did it last year. So thank you, everybody. Have an amazing Christmas. Have an amazing New Year. I really appreciate you. And 2025, we're all going to crush it. And I hope we all crush it together. Thank you.